So, people were going wild over this video of Michael Ealy hugging Meagan Good right in front of her boyfriend, Jonathan Majors. A lot of folks thought it was inappropriate and even said Jonathan looked salty about it. The video did seem a bit crazy because Michael was hugging everyone but seemed to ignore Jonathan, which was awkward. However, Nightcast Media had the full video, and it turns out Michael did acknowledge Jonathan with a hug at the beginning, so he wasn't being a villain like people thought.
Michael did actually acknowledge Jonathan. They did share a hug, so Michael was not being the villain that people thought he was.
Still, people started making up stories about the whole interaction, paying close attention to Jonathan's reaction. Honestly, people noticed it, and he didn't seem too pleased. Not angry, but definitely not thrilled with that hug. You could see it in the faces he and Meagan made afterward. The unfortunate thing about Meagan and Jonathan's relationship is that it's under a microscope because of how it started. They went public after Jonathan's assault incident with his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Because of that, Jonathan has a reputation for having a temper and being aggressive. To briefly revisit the incident, Grace saw him texting another woman, calling her Cleopatra, and saying he wished he was kissing her. Grace went ballistic, tried to grab his phone, they tussled, and Jonathan broke free and ran. Grace chased him and got injured in the process, which led to Jonathan being found guilty of third-degree assault. It was unintentional, but it made him look like an abuser. It was also said that he was very controlling, getting upset with his ex for getting drunk and saying he wanted her to be like Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. These are his own words, actually.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk to disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not, I shouldn't have gone out, I'm
No,
sorry.
let me just lay it out for you, right? If I'm just gonna say this, my temper, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm gonna say, I'm a great man, a great man. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately.
The audio tape definitely raised some comments from the public. One person said, JM is psychotic. Telling a whole blonde-hair, blue-eyed, clear woman she needs to be like Coretta and Michelle is diabolical. Something about the whole situation feels off, but honestly, the whole trial with Grace was a mess and really hurt Jonathan's reputation. Meagan Good stepped in to support him, which had a lot of people questioning why she would risk her own reputation to stand by someone going through such a drama. At first, we thought Meagan might have been with him for PR reasons and that the relationship wasn't real. But she's stuck by him through thick and thin, even when people, including Jonathan himself, advised her not to. Some think that ain't the smartest decision to make. If a man himself or his mama tell you not to date, marry him, then don't date or marry him. Even when everyone was telling her to stay away from him, especially during his trial, Meagan stayed loyal. It makes me think she really does care about him. There's also a possibility that she might have been the woman Jonathan was texting, which sparked the whole assault incident with his ex. I'm not saying for sure that it was her, but it could explain why Meagan felt the need to stay with him, even though she didn't have to, and it wasn't her fault. Meagan seems to avoid talking about how she and Jonathan first met, which makes people wonder if she was involved with him while he was still with his ex. Nobody is saying that's what definitely happened, but it wouldn't come as a big shock if it turned out that way. At this point, it doesn't really matter how Jonathan and Meagan met. They're together, and it seems genuine. Everyone wishes them the best, even though there are those who feel a bit unsure. Meagan's star power is massive, everyone knows and loves her, and she totally owns the red carpet. Jonathan, on the other hand, seems a bit out of place and awkward in that spotlight. He might be sensitive about how people view him these days. He's no longer seen as a symbol or getting rave reviews for his work. Now he just gets scrutinized. Like recently, when he was dancing to Kendrick Lamar's song Not Like Us, people were harshly criticizing him, saying he danced like a slave and was shucking and jiving. It was mean and unnecessary. And then there's the whole Michael Ealy video video that went viral, with people speculating that Jonathan might be rough on Meagan or give her a Coretta Scott King lecture. There are so many negative narratives out there, and it feels bad because it seems like Jonathan can't do anything without it being picked apart. We can imagine that some of the criticism might get to him, and if he brings his concerns to Meagan, that could be overwhelming for her. She's not only dealing with his quirks, but also his insecurities. Meagan has even said she feels the need to protect him because of all the criticism he faces. So now Meagan feels like she has to be Jonathan's protector, and in a way, it seems like she's being used to help clean up his image. She's definitely done a lot to support him and isn't here for anyone disrespecting her man. For instance, she even called out Katt Williams for his comments about Jonathan on Club Shay. You might remember Katt Williams called Jonathan ugly, and Meagan stepped in to address that. Text. He was talking about how Hollywood was hyping Jonathan Majors as this big symbol, but when things went south for him, they tore him down. In the middle of that, Katt called Jonathan ugly. That is debatable. Whether or not Jonathan is ugly, he might not be everyone's type, but a lot of people find him attractive. Some folks think their relationship has a lot of red flags, but it is not up to us to be judging that. Everyone got their own thing that they should be in charge of, right? What people do wish for them is to adjust well to being so public. Meagan seems fine with it, but Jonathan ain't giving us the same vibes, really. Hopefully he doesn't start resenting Meagan because of all the publicity and scrutiny. We've seen that happen time after time. Maybe these two can dodge that bullet. On another note, Meagan recently talked about her divorce from her ex-husband, Devin Franklin. She spoke about it really well, saying that they're good friends now, but at the time she was upset and angry that he left her.
The divorce happened. I was mad at God. I was like, what the hell? Like, I was so mad, but I was just like...
But you never questioned it.
I didn't question if I was gonna be okay. I questioned, well, why do it?
Right.
What was the point? And
allow us
over
to come
time,
together, and then here we are.
Yeah, and then also I was like, you knew this was my worst fear. Like, why? You know, and then, you know, over the years, and it's, you know, almost been like 3 years now. So, over the years, I'm always revealed a lot more, and every time I'm revealed a lot more, I'm just really in gratitude and thankful that I married someone that was so wonderful and that is so wonderful, and that we had that time and that we grew together and just all the things. And so
there's no regret. It's like, okay, every step led me here. And so everything that I shared in truth at that time. And certainly I think sometimes I'm glad we don't know the future, because it impacts how we live the present. And so, you know, those moments that we shared in the present were honest and true moments, and this moment is an honest and true moment.
Meagan was still pretty angry about her divorce from Devin, as was Devin. But for the first time since it happened, we've seen Meagan talk so openly about it at Club Shay Shay. She admitted she was really upset. For those who don't know, Devin was the one who filed for divorce, but the reasons behind it are still unclear. It seemed like they both agreed on it, given how they announced it. Some people thought Devin might have been the one heartbroken, since he's been more vocal about it, even posting a picture of himself crying. People were quick to blame Meagan, but she didn't actually do anything to him. The public doesn't think he did anything either, but Meagan was definitely the one left confused and upset because he left her. We still don't know exactly why they split. Maybe they were just incompatible. Their lifestyles and directions in life seem to be different. It's good to hear they're still friends, though. So that's the latest on Meagan and Jonathan. There's a lot of drama and speculation swirling around them. Whether it's the scrutiny from their public lives, the backlash they face, or the way they handle their relationship, it's clear that they're navigating a tricky situation together. Meagan's support for Jonathan, despite the drama, and her recent comments about her past with Devin show there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than what we see in the headlines. What do you think about all this? Do you believe their relationship can withstand the pressure, or do you think the public scrutiny will take a toll? And how do you feel about Meagan's openness regarding her divorce? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think.